Hello, 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 people. How are we all doing? Welcome on to the Liverpool versus Newcastle preview. Big game today, and the funny thing is, it's most likely being overlooked due to the whole Mo Salah situation. Isn't that boss? Isn't that just boss? But if you're new here and you're not already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turning on that notification bell so you don't miss any more content. Let's get straight into it. Should we start on the Salah stuff? We'll start on Salah stuff. Last night you had more rumours and reports that this will be Salah's last game. He'll fly to Dubai after the game to undergo a medical. He's accepted the contract offer, biggest contract in football, yada, yada, yada. Ultimately, do I believe it? No. No, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. It was apparently with some credible journalists who were reporting out in Saudi Arabia, but I don't believe the club would sell at this point unless Salah started really kicking up a fuss, which I don't think he's going to do because I think he has too much respect for the football club and the fans. I don't see why we would sell him with all of 4 days to go in the window. Like it doesn't make sense. It's not a smart thing to do. It's not a good move, especially when you're already in need of other positions. Imagine the prices you're going to be paying. Ultimately, and also, just real quick, if you're going to spend £100+ million on a footballer and give them almost 300 million in wages, why the fuck would you let them play? Surely you'd be doing everything you can to stop them from playing so you don't get injured or something. It doesn't make much sense in my head. It really doesn't. He should play today. He should start today. He should be boss today because he's Mo Salah. This is what Mo Salah does. But he's not the big selection talking point. There's a couple of selection talking points that we really need to get through. But before we get into the selection talking points, let's go through some of these comments here. Big ups Adin. Big ups Yavraj. My lineup will be Allison, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, Endo, Maka, Soboslai, Diaz, Gakpo, Salah. And I think we draw 2-2 with Newcastle. If Salah is going Saudi, he would not be playing, so I do not believe these rumours of him having his final game today. Big up yourself, AGX. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. We need to be on it from minute 1 to 90 if we want to win. The atmosphere will be rocking. We have to be on it. We just need to calm it down. We just need to calm down the atmosphere. That's all we need to do. Big up yourself, Tucker. Big up yourself, Panos Scouse. If it's Salah's last game, he won't be in the squad. I agree. Big up yourself, Liam. Big up yourself, Steve. How serious is Canardi's injury? Any news? The fact that he was just a doubt and wasn't ruled out makes me think it's not very serious. Realistically, he'll probably be out till after the international break, which is one more game after this. So he misses this and he misses Villa, which are two really annoying games to miss, by the way. But it's better that he does it now rather than in a crunch time period of the season for us. Well, I am worried today, Tom. It's a weird one, isn't it, Ali? It's a weird one. I don't know if I'm worried yet. I'll probably get more nervy and more anxious and everything as we get close to the game. But right now, I'm just sort of calm, chill, zen. Big up yourself, Alexander. I'm looking forward to the game. We got two top teams 2 weeks in a row on Sunday. 2-2 my prediction. It isn't Salah's last game, fingers crossed. If Liverpool win, it could be 1-0 Liverpool. I am shitting my pants if Salah leaves. I think, look, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial here, and I know people will not like it because it is a very business-minded way of looking at it. If we were offered £150 million to Salah, I would take the £150 million to Salah. People aren't going to like that. That's fine. But the stone cold matter of fact is we'd be getting the third highest transfer fee in history for a 31-year-old who next year we expect to go for a lot less. Ultimately, is losing Salah going to be a blow? Massive, massive blow. It's almost impossible to replace his 40 GA with one player. You'd have to go out and buy 2 or 3. But 150 million is 150 million. And we are in a position in time where I ultimately believe that Mo Salah shouldn't be the difference maker between us hitting my expectations this season. Mo Salah should be the difference maker in making us a title challenger, making us a series. If City have a fuck up, if Arsenal have a fuck up, we can take it because you've got Mo Salah there bagging your goals constantly. Ultimately, I don't believe we're at that point, and I don't believe Salah. It'd take a minor miracle to get to that point this season. So the chance to get £150 million would be something I would seriously consider. The issue would then come of, is that 150 million going to be reinvested? And that is a separate argument that we can have. And that is one that I'll probably save for another stream because it's a little bit more deeper about how FSG work, how the club's recruitment policy works, etc., etc. But if we were given 150 million pounds right here, right now, I'd probably accept it. I probably would. The journals love a story, especially when it's Liverpool. Any negativity they can throw on us, they will. You know it, Panos Scouts, you know it. They hate the Scousers. Why would Salah play this game if he's leaving? I agree. He's staying this summer, but he's definitely off next summer. I think that's the sort of thing. We play Salah'S, McAllister, Gakpo midfield stay. We're getting slow, so I won't be watching. I think Endo will get the nod. I think Endo would get the nod 100%. VVD masterclass incoming. He's been very good to start the season, VVD. I was someone who was a bit doubtful of him getting the captaincy because I didn't know how well he coped with the added pressure, but no, he's smashed it. Fair play to Van Dijk, proving me wrong. He's been brilliant since he's got that captaincy, especially this season. He's been running the show. So massive shout out to Virgil van Dijk. Betting odds at Sky Bet. Salah to join any Saudi club 6-1. Ain't likely. Klopp will have us play a system we can't handle while fully healthy. You won't adjust to the injuries and feeling a Newcastle smashing. We said that last year, though. This is the thing. We were worried about Newcastle last season when we went to St James's Park and we'd done them in. Like, certain teams just line up better against other opposition, and I think our pure pace in our attack will help us out massively. Are we going to have to ride our luck? Yes. Are we probably going to need Allison to bail us out a fair few times? Yes. But I also think we're doing... I understand why we're doing it because we haven't had a top midfield in ages. But I think we're doing the midfielders a little bit of a disservice. McAllister, Salah'S, they can now compete with the best of the best midfields, which is something that we couldn't do last season. So you can be concerned, but there's also got to be a sense of optimism that we done them with a worse team last year. And also, I get your point, Mike, but I reckon we can handle the system fully healthy. It's just we lack the top depth. You will see a drop off when you have to rely on more and more depth. 3-2 to us is my prediction. Today I want Núñez starting. He suits this game more than Gakpo. I think both will have. I think both suit this game. Ideally, not ideally, but realistically, the best setup for this game would be playing both of them. You'd have Gakpo in the middle. You'd have Núñez on the left. You'd use Núñez's pace in between Trippier and Shaw. You'd have Gakpo dropping deep to try and draw Botman out, which would then in turn create the space for Salah and Salah'S and McAllister to attack in and get further forwards. Obviously, he's going to go Diaz because Diaz is in fantastic form, and I don't blame him for that. Luis Diaz has started the season like a house on fire. But if you were to ask me, the best front three setup for this game is Salah off the right, Gakpo in the middle, Núñez on the left. I think that's the best tactical setup. I think we will lose not Basses or assemblies, but we won't win surely. I wouldn't rule out a win. This thing, I wouldn't rule out a win. It all depends how we start the game. This game will be defined by are we able to quiet the crowd down before they're able to have a big moment? If we're able to quiet the crowd down and, control the game in the opening 10, 15 minutes, I think we can all of a sudden get a lot more control and run St. James's Park our way. And when we're able to do that, we look an awful lot better. So can we do that is the big argument. And I think it would depend a lot on, you'd need Endo to have a good game. You'd need McAllister to have a good game. You'd need Van Dijk to have a really good start. You'd need Joe Gomez to have a really good start. If those four can have really good starts, you'll have an element of control. And that is what you can use to build off in these sort of games. Salah is staying this summer, but next summer is a different story. I agree. Is Canate still out? Canate's out. Canate is ruled out, according to Craig. Hope. Feeling a Sabo goal today, I'd love it, especially against the team that wanted them. We can't replace his goals, Tom. You can't, no, but then should we just never... What happens when we do have to replace them? You almost got to try and... You're going to find one player. This is the thing. You have to try and recreate Salah's impact in aggregate. So we are not going to be able to just go out and buy another winger who will get us 30 goals, 15 assists. But we're going to have to go out and buy a winger who can get you 20 goals and 7 assists. And then you're going to have to go out and buy a DM, a top DM, because buying the top DM makes your defence stronger. Therefore, you need to score less goals. You can also go out and buy potentially another winger who will pick up more of the creative slack whilst adding a couple of goals on top. It adds more competition all round. These are the sort of things you got to consider. And maybe, I don't think it will, but certainly I think the club will be thinking, if Salah goes, maybe Harvey Elliott will take the step up. Maybe Ben Doak will take the step up. I think that's an incredibly risky way of thinking. But that's the sort of thing you got to do. You've got to recreate it on aggregate. Selling Salah for 150 is a good buy. We can't replace that this season. Is good, but we can't replace it. Yeah, we can't replace it this season, but we were never going to be able to replace it this season. It's just now we definitely can't because there's 4 days left of the window. The one I don't want to see is like a Chiesa. I think Chiesa's a fantastic footballer, but one of Salah's biggest selling points is his availability. Chiesa has just dodgy knees, and I don't want that on the right. Well, big up yourself, Ryan. If we leave ourselves open like the Bournemouth game, it could be a long day. I think adding the DM. Look, I'm not expecting Endo to light the world up because I can't expect that from Endo. But I do expect an improvement in the system on Endo with Endo coming in. Sorry, so maybe we are less open. Maybe we are less open because you've got that more naturally minded defensive midfield option. Ultimately, this is just the way we're playing at the minute. It could be a long day, but the same breath, we could absolutely destroy them on the attack. Salah up against Dan Burn as a matchup made in hell for Newcastle. These are all the things you got to consider. So you just got to look at that way. There's positives and there's negatives. So you're going to look at glass half full or glass half empty. We're losing, stay for sure, but that's not the thing I'm most worried about. Disagree. Man like Tom, big up yourself, Pablo. Losing Salah could be a rebuild part 2. Losing Salah would just push forward the inevitable summer that he's going to be replaced. So his contract's up in 2025, but he was going to go next year. All it does is push it forwards, but give us more money to replace him with. So you've got to weigh it up. You've got to weigh it up. Ultimately, it's, do you think Liverpool Football Club can achieve their targets this season without Mo Salah? If it's a yes, you take the 150. If it's a no, you don't take the 150 and you take the 60 to 70 you'll get offered next summer. I'll take Salah. I'll take the 150 for Salah if guaranteed that money goes back into transfers, not the owner's pockets. The one thing I will say is that the 2 times Liverpool Football Club have made a big money sale, and I mean a big, big money sale, Liverpool have reinvested all of that money. So are there concerns? Are there legitimate concerns about, how we're going to operate if we do sell Mo Salah? Yeah, 100%. Because if we do what we've done in the past, which is don't invest the money and leave ourselves short and just buy one player and go, that's enough, then yeah, massive concerns. But the fact of the matter is, the form is the 2 times Liverpool Football Club have sold a player for a record fee under FSG. Sorry, the 3 times, because you had Torres, then you had Suarez, then you had Coutinho. That money was reinvested. Even with Sterling, if you want to count Sterling, we spent that money. We spent that money on the likes of Benteke, on the likes of Klein. Who else came in that summer? Bobby Firmino. Like, when we've made sales, we've spent the money. That's the only thing. But the form of recent years is we just make one signing. So it's what form you want to go off. Tom, for next summer, he'll be leaving. Who would you get? For me, I would get Leroy Sané and Bakayoko with that Salah money. I wouldn't get Leroy. I think Leroy Sané is an incredible footballer, but I wouldn't get Leroy Sané. If you're asking me to replace Mo Salah, You go out and you give Aston Villa 75 for Moussa Diaby, and you take Johan Bakayoko, and you just have that as your right-hand side, and you loan out Ben Doak. I think this year Ben Doak will be better off staying with the club because he'd be playing Europa League football, which is a massive sort of development boost. But next season, if we're back in the Champions League, he won't get that opportunity, so he's better off with consistent football on a loan out. But no, I've said it for months. Moussa Diaby is my Salah replacement. Left footer, cuts in off the right. He's dangerous. He scored in his opening 2 games for Villa. Do they play today? Do they? I think they play today, don't they? Let me have a look. Or did they play yesterday and I missed it? No, they play today against Burnley. So Diaby could make it 3 goals in 3 games. He's had a lightning quick stop. Did he not score? Oh no, he didn't. He scored against Newcastle, and then he should have scored against Everton. He didn't score against Everton, no. But no, Moussa Diaby is still my Salah replacement. I just look at him and I go, that's the closest you're going to get to Salah. If you're wanting an out-and-out Salah replacement, you get Moussa Diaby. He's 23. Let me just double check that. He is 24. So he'll be 25 next season, which is the exact same age Salah was when we bought him. So next summer is when I'll go get Moussa Diaby. If you were to sell him this summer, you just go get Bakayoko now and you just let it happen. You just let it happen. You just let's see what happens because the rest of your attack should be good enough. You lose Salah, yes, but you still have Diaz, you still have Jossie, you still have Nunes, you still have Gakpo. Are they going to replace Salah? No. But should they still be good enough to help us reach our target? Yes. And that's the thing. It ain't much controversial, is it? Pretty understandable to let them leave off as 150. Barca just after Messi, Madrid after Ronaldo. We won't disappear either after Salah leaves, and we can reinvest if FSG ain't total scums. What's happening, Tom? Big yourself, Neil. I would take the 100 mil immediately and strengthen the squad. We've lost great players before. They come and go. Nunes will be able to step up when Mo goes, and we'll be able to build the team around him. It's a good way of thinking. Liverpool will be up for big teams. They always are. We've seen them beat United 7-0, but it's games against other teams that are just important. I agree. I have a short-term option, Tom, if he does leave, and I don't think it'll be a difficult deal, to be honest. Oh, not Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey's so injury-prone. I can't be bothered with more injury-prone players. Tom, Cass from Never a Foul would take Sven Botman over VVD. What's he on? It's Cass. It's Cass. That's all you need to say. It's Cass. Matip or Gomez against Isak could be a disaster. It's got to happen, though, hasn't it? It's got to happen. We all thought, look, Joe Gomez is who I'll go for, but both are dodgy. I just know that Joe Gomez, if he has a good game, is better equipped to deal with Isak. We actually have a great record against Newcastle. They haven't beaten us since ages. When was the last time Newcastle beat us? 17, 18. So 16, 17, we didn't play. So they beat us in 15, 16. Then we didn't play each other in 16, 17 because they were in the championship. In 2017, 18, we drew and we beat them. In 18, 19, we beat them twice. In 19, 20, we beat them twice. In 2020, 2021, we drew twice. In 21, 22, we beat them twice. Last season, we beat them twice. So the last time they beat us was 2015 when Wijnaldum and Sissoko scored. How the fuck do I remember that? No, that's not right, that. Why do I remember that? Listen, if we win, we win. I'd love to win, but going into every game this season with a lack of defence, I've never expected to win. I disagree with that line of thinking, Mike. I disagree. I think our lack of depth in defence is an issue, but it shouldn't stop us from going into games thinking we can't win because our attack is still immense. Are there concerns? Yeah, but like when we play Luton, I'm expecting to beat Luton. When I'm playing a Bournemouth, who else is there? I'm drawing blanks on a Crystal Palace, a Burnley, a Sheffield United. When I'm playing those, I'm expecting to win. Did we not do a double over Newcastle last season? The only clubs do. We did. I don't know why. I've got a nasty feeling we could get Lamp 5. I'm hoping I'm wrong. It can't be that feeling. It's going to be a humbling. I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be. McAllister and Salah'S are going to have a really good performance this game now that we have Endo. Fingers crossed that defensive option should, set us up nicely. Press a like, people. It helps the channel. Listen to my guy Panos Scouse here. We're on 21 likes. Let's try and get that up, people. If you knew it and you haven't already as well, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more content. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Please, no Nunes on the left. I disagree, but fair enough. We have a great record over Eddie Howe teams. We won't lose today. When was the last time we lost to an Eddie Howe team? Was it when we lost 4-3 to Bournemouth? When fucking Karius dropped 2 in his own net? He'll play Gakpo, Salah, Diaz. Probably. Just imagine Salah never started today. That'd probably seal a deal. I have a feeling the club will look to sell Nunes next summer. See, but you're one of the ones who's now saying that Jurgen Klopp doesn't like him anymore, which I disagree with. Just because he's not playing in the opening 2 games doesn't mean Jurgen Klopp doesn't see him as an option anymore. Not that he's not even playing, just because he's not started the opening 2 games. Like, come on. We invested a hell of a lot of money in Nunes. There's a lot of time and faith in him. Big up Tom. Newcastle fans have a lot of chest for a team we've beaten twice, and people seem to forget we haven't beaten in 13 games now. We haven't lost against Newcastle in years. People are right to be worried a little bit, aren't they? You know, Newcastle are an incredible side. They are a really, really good side. I have a lot of respect for Eddie Howe. I think they've got a really good team with some really good players in there. And St. James's Park is always one of the most horrible places to go in the Prem. There's a lot of reasons why people can rightly be a little bit worried about this game. Sometimes form goes out the window. You know, it's a different season now. But I'm confident that we can get the job done today. I want a Sobbo banger today to shut the Newcastle fans up that we boss. An early goal would be filthy, wouldn't it just? I fancy us, fair enough, Harry. Sobbo's masterclass today, and Endo play like a true warrior. For all we know, the front 3 could be something like Diaz, Gakpo, Jota. Salah will start. I'm worried about the physicality from Endo against Joe Linton and Bruno. I don't think Joe Linton's playing. I think Joe Linton's injured, you know. Someone said he was injured, but I don't know. Even then, Endo's played against some tough midfielders in the Bundesliga. Ultimately, physicality, like, it's just about tackling. And Endo can tackle. And in the same way that they've got to deal with our physicality, like, Salah'S is not an easy, player to deal with. And should McAllister move back into a more advanced position, Salah'S matches up with Tonali, and Tonali's not going to be able to deal with Salah'S and his power. So it swings both ways, really, doesn't it? What's this one? My heart says 3-1, my brain says 2-2. I noticed the Brad Pitt Moneyball quote. Moneyball. Banging film, by the way. Absolutely banging film, Moneyball. Kavicha and a DM. I think Kavicha could work on the right because I think he's an incredible footballer. But I still stand by it. Musa Diaby is my guy. Musa Diaby is the one who I'm sitting there and saying that's who I'd want to replace Salah. The issue is now you're going to have to pay more for him. I've been saying for years you should have just brought him in and let him be the understudy, let him be a rotation piece. But no, that'd be too proactive. This football club doesn't do proactive. Tom, how you think Gakpo will be utilised? Now, he was played as a false nine, was perfect there, but with Sabo, I'm afraid they only started to interfere with each other's games. Gakpo is too good to be unused. Salah'S will end just more out wide, I think. He'll operate more on a wider channel, and you'd almost end up seeing a 3-2-3-2. So, what's the best way I can do this? Yeah, let me pull up a tactics board real quick. Tactical board. Right, let me just do this real quick and I'll show you how I think it would all work together. So, you can see this now. Yeah, perfect. So, you have Ali in goal, Robbo, Canate, or Van Dijk, Canate, or Gomez, or whoever, Trent, Endo, Stobo, Mac, Salah, Gakpo, and Diaz or Jota. When we're in possession, you'd effectively see this. Let me just make this so it's the actual numbers. It will go 2, go 4, go 26, we'll go 3, we'll go 8, go 10, 18 and 20. So in possession, you'd see effectively this happen. Effectively, something along the lines of this was the. I didn't. So it would be a 3-2-3-2 almost, with these two drifting in to operate as forwards. And then you'd have Salah'S being able to go out there, Newcastle being able to go out there. If Gakpo moves into a more advanced position, then these tuck in, then you end up with your 3-box-3. It's a very flexible setup. And even then, you've got to consider the fact that Robertson will be trying to get up and down, which is where Endo will come in. And when Robbo bombs up, I think you'd see Trent operating more of that. And then it becomes a diamond. So there's a lot of tactical flexibility with this shape, which is why I could easily see Gakpo still being used as a false nine, despite the arrivals of Salah'S and McAllister, because they're tactically flexible footballers and they're able to use them shapes. Don't forget we had the goals with Mac and Dom. They're due goals as well. They are 100% due goals. Spurs couldn't replace Kane's goals either, but it started fantastically due to new ideas and a philosophy. Exactly. Sometimes you need the change. I'll take the 150 million, spend it on a DM and centre back. They will help us concede less goals and press higher. You need to buy wingers to replace Salah, because I don't think you can go into the season with your only natural right wingers being Elliott and Doak. But I think, like I said, you'd strengthen an aggregate, so you wouldn't buy a player who's as good as Salah. You'd buy a player who can grow to a level close to Salah, but you buy a better DM and you buy a better centre back, and then therefore you concede less, so you need to score less. So the loss of Salah isn't noticed as much. People weren't happy with Coutinho leaving, but ended up getting Alisson and Van Dijk. So I'm kind of with you. If we accept money about Salah, we've got enough quality up front without Salah. Rafael Leao is for Salah, is my opinion. I think he's just signed a new deal, and I don't think he really works well off the right. I don't think he really works well. Do not get Chiesa anywhere near Liverpool. The guy is made of crisps, and we've had enough of these in the past few years. Sick of it. My thoughts exactly, Tucker. Klopp said Salah not for sale. I think he'll go to Sadly at some point throughout the season. I say 35 is a good age to go when you achieve everything you want in Europe. That will be another 4 years for Salah. When you're being offered the money he's being offered, I'm not shocked that he's seriously debating it. Why do people keep suggesting left wingers as Salah replacements? Because I can see why, because they're closer stylistic fits, but it's about the position. I don't see Mo going the next week or two and leaving us high and dry. He destroys legacy, all those records he has broken won't mean not anymore. I don't see Mo as that type of person. I don't think he would be. I don't think his legacy would be tarnished. I just think it'd be, oh, for fuck's sake, really. But I don't think he'd lose like legendary stats or anything. I wouldn't even replace that. I'd replace the system if he was sold. I think the system can work. I really do think the system can work. I just think it's lacking the key pieces. No, I can talk. Yeah. No, I know Moussa Diaby's only just signed for Villa. I'm about next year. Unpopular opinion, should play right wing for the next few years while you push Ben Doak to start 11 John's period. Make Doka started already before he turned 20, and then use him as a striker left winger again. I don't think that's going to work very well, to be honest. I really don't. Diaby never touching Salah goals ever. You're not going to find another winger who can touch Salah's goals. I don't think you can try and do that. At the end of the day, with Moussa Diaby, he's got a very similar statistical profile to what Salah had at Roma. He does. He matches up very similarly to how Mo Salah did at Roma. And that was the Salah we bought. We didn't buy Mo Salah expecting him to do 32 goals in his open season. We didn't buy Mo Salah expecting him to be this type of player. We can't now buy his replacements expecting them to be it, because that player just doesn't exist, because Salah is such an anomaly. You have to go and buy what you think can work best in the role. And for me, Moussa Diaby works best in the role of the Salah position. So, yeah, I understand that he's not going to be able to do that, but I'm also not going to judge him for that. It's a short-term option, though, with Bailey maybe alone. He plays for Villa, though. He plays like week in, week out. I don't think he'd sanction alone. Why would we sell Salah now or next year? Mo Salah will always be the crown jewel for the Saudi league. He will retain his value until at least 2026. Salah's contract is up in 2025. It's up in 2025 and he's getting mega money. I wouldn't be shocked if his head has been turned. As much as I would love to keep him until he's 36, I also have to think logically. He's not going to turn down the chance to become the highest paid player in the world, even more than Cristiano Ronaldo. It's mega money. Beat us in 2015 2-0. Because that was the game where fucking Wijnaldum scored and Sissoko scored, and it was on Sky Sport. And Sissoko only ever turned up on fucking Sky Sports. That was all they ever done. If not, Bailey, I'd go over the Real and get Pino. What's his release clause situation? 15-16, yeah. If Salah leaves, he should immediately go for Sané, Adeyemi, or Neto, watched by Bakayoko. But you know what's funny, honestly? Bowen is probably the best option out of the names you mentioned there. In terms of an impact now, he's probably the best option. I don't think Sané is boss on the right. I think he's a lot better on the left. And I also don't think he's the same player that he was. He used to terrify the shit out of me. He doesn't do that now. Adeyemi still thinks he's a year or two away, and he's also a striker. We've got to understand now that our right wing has been a lot more creative. Neto is crap. Neto got an assist yesterday. Do you know that was his first goal contribution in over a season? Like, he didn't get a single goal or assist last season. That can't be a Salah replacement. Bakayoko is probably ranks about third on that list. So we'd go Bowen, Sane, Bakayoko, Adeyemi, Neto. Don't get me wrong, me saying Bowen is probably the best option doesn't mean I want Bowen. I don't want Jaded Bowen. If we're sitting there going Decore isn't worth 70, we'd be quoted 100 for Bowen. I hope people know that. So Bowen isn't going to happen. But he's the best option out of that list there because he's the most natural replacement for him. That's the sad matter of fact. Let's play Kwanzaa instead of Gomez. Matip, even if Kwanzaa makes mistakes, at least he'll get more experience. He couldn't be asked with Gomez or Matip no more. Kwanzaa doesn't play right centre-back. He's a left centre-back. He's left-footed. It won't work. And I don't want to throw him in the deep end at this point. I really don't. If Salah does go, that will leave only one player who can get 30 goals in the league. So have multiple 20-goal scorers is the only way to go. Again, like I said, Tony, you're on the right tracks. It's replace him in aggregate. You're not going to find another player who can get you 35. So you've got to go out and buy two players who can get you 20 and 15. Remember when they beat us and Enrique went in that 1 year when fucking Pepe Reina was a joke, man. Honest to God. The most inconsistent goalkeeper going, Pepe Reina. You may have already said, but what's your prediction? Let's do my prediction real quick. 2-1 Liverpool. 2-1 Liverpool, I think. Salah, Nunez, and Isak. People who say Nat to start have no clue. Nat Phillips is a decent little centre-back. I stand by. I think Nat Phillips is a good little centre-back, you know. I think he got an awful lot of disrespect that he didn't deserve. He's not a world beater. God knows he's not a world beater. But he's a solid little centre-back who does the job whenever he's called upon. Salah's not really leaving, is he? Apparently there's a new offer. Apparently he said he wants to go. Who knows? Who knows at this point with the Saudis, you know, that they say some mad things. They say some mad things. Nunes just ain't good enough, let's be honest. Disagree. Tom, would you take Joao Felix as a Salah replacement, or is he not built for the Prem? I think Joao Felix is one of the most overrated players in world football. I don't see why he cost as much as he did, and he's not been able to hack anything since. I just don't know. No. I would have taken the Joao Felix of 4 or 5 years ago and had him mould on the clock. I reckon Adeyemi or Bakayoko could replace Salah. In the long run, sure, once they're more developed and I had tutelage. But right now, it'd be an awful lot of pressure. I think we'd evolve to make Nunes the main man in the 9. He was one of the top strikers last year for Champions League. He was playing out of position off the bench a lot. Nunes is such a threat. I don't think people understand. He's such an incredible threat, Darwin Nunes. It's mental. Like, his numbers are just so weird that I can understand why we're not writing it off. Why we won't write him off. Big ups, Gary Richards, 40 Liverpool. That'll be a great game. I'm an eBay, but loving the channel content. Keep on keeping on. Looking forward to being a member and sending the super chat. Thank you very much, Red Chili. I appreciate the support, mate. A double pivot could work if Trent would stop bombing it upfield and we play tighter. Trent needs to be inverse, but also not upfield. Ultimately, let's call me tactics board again. I reckon Mike, if you end up with your team sitting about, so you'd have Salah sat there, Gakpo about there, Jota would end up about there, you'd have Robertson there, Szoboszlai in that space, McAllister in that space, Endo in there, Trent in there, more of a centralised position. Then you had Van Dijk there and Canate Gomez there. It looks a bit mad, but I think that works. The issue is this. If he's there, it's a lot better, but then you lack the width. So I could see Robertson being tasked and sitting in an advanced position like this, and then that leaves an awful lot of defensive work for Endo. So he'd drop into cover, and then you ask an awful lot of trends, but then you're hoping that McAllister's able to get back. It's very rotation reliant. But if you had a top DM there, and I do mean a top DM there, I think it works. And obviously, if you bought a natural centre back, he'd probably sit wider, and Núñez would be starting. There's a lot of different permutations for the system, but it's so flexible and it gets the best out of our players that I'm willing to see it through this season. For me, we need a left-footed right winger after Salah. I agree. Musa Diaby. Sorry if you already talked about this, but is there any truth to the reports that Salah accepting terms with Saudi? The Saudis are reporting it. We haven't had anyone confirm the claims, so take from that what you will. That player, Tom, would have been Diaby, who went to Aston Villa. I agree, Taylor. The 3-2-3-2 seems vulnerable defensively, but boss attacking-wise, they can play no attacking by like 17-18. Just a shit ton of all kinds of motion, so I'm all for it. The thing is, people, and I will say this, the reason why I think it can work is we seem to have forgotten what we were after this season. We needed mobile centre mids. We've now added the mobile centre mids. So, yes, it looks vulnerable defensively, but with Maka being able to get back, with Szoboszlai being able to get back, all of a sudden, you're able to be in your defensive shape a lot quicker. And the chances for counterattacks minimise a little bit. You cut off some of them. So it suddenly becomes a lot better. Kone is a must. He's certainly got to be a name considered. We have enough left wingers. We need the right winger. I agree. Big ups OG Sports. Big ups my guy. Imagine the outrage if Salah'S gets sold by FSG. If we got 150, like I said earlier, if we got 150 for him, you wouldn't see outrage from me. The issue comes in how they try and replace him. I think if we get Diaby back here for the right side, Núñez Gakpo for the middle, Diaz shots for the left of Salah'S, that's an incredible attacking depth. You're not going to, again, I'll say it one more time, you're not going to replace Salah with one player. It's about recreating him in aggregate. If you were to get 150 for Salah, next summer, your ideal, you go out this summer, you buy your top DM, you buy Bakayoko, and you potentially go out and buy a left centre-back, and then next summer it's all out for Diaby. And then you're in a lot better shape. Am I doing a watch-along for the Newcastle v Liverpool game? I am not. I don't do watch-alongs. I go out to the pub and drink. That'd be an amazing front line, younger and energy, 100%. FSG ain't letting Salah go because they know how bad the backlash will be. FSG aren't stupid when it comes to the business side of things. They know how big Salah is for the commercial part of LFC. Ultimately, again, 150 million is 150 million. You want to know something crazy? I still don't think we will see protests if Salah leaves. No. Like I said, Salah leaving is an issue, but it's not the be-all, end-all. It comes down to how you replace him. FSG letting Salah leave now with the backlash they'll get. If he wants to go, we'll go. Thomas, not Bowen, not him. I don't want him, but he's the best option out of the ones that were listed. FSG out, what is the point of letting Salah go when you can't replace like Fabinho? No one on the market to replace Salah right now. They should chill out. Imagine Dope replacing Salah. Disaster. Again, I agree. But if you're getting £150 million for him and he wants to go, you'd be stupid to not do that. You really would be. What about Kingsley Coman from Bayern? Too injury prone. It's a massive game that it's going to be fans against part of Liverpool must score early. I agree. Exactly. Tom needs to sell next year for the big deals at the Saudis. As the following year leaves for free, and FSG won't give him a new contract on 350k per week at the age of 33. It depends how much. It ultimately depends how much you're going to get for Salah next year because he's in the last year of his deal. Which is why because if you're going to get 60, is Mo Salah worth almost £100 million for us this year? He's worth that if we win the Premier League. Otherwise, there is a case to be made that you're better off with the 150 and starting the Salah replacement thing a year early. Sentimentality for me, I wouldn't want to sell Salah. For me, I would be giving Salah a new deal until 2027 because he's showing no signs of slowing down. He's so important. But that's not how this football club operates, unfortunately. With how this football club operates, with how they like to do business, if they're offered 150 for Salah, they'd be stupid to not take it. He's barely played for people to be so critical. I agree. I'm not saying that isn't good, but in the system it doesn't fit. You never know, really. You never know. Salah's agent said no. I think the report's just trying to sway Salah's head. Finally, someone said it. Joao Felix is wank considering the hype around him and the price tag. Yeah. 4-3 Liverpool Nunes hat-trick and one from Diaz. Tonali hat-trick. I'd be shocked if Tonali gets a hat-trick. This fan base is going to be in for a massive shock when Salah leaves. Nobody will come close. I think people understand that you're not going to be able to replace Salah. But you also just have to accept that and keep on keeping on. If Salah said he wants to leave, does he get picked? Probably, yeah. Probably. Endo is an intelligent DM. He did it at Stuttgart. Tom, if Salah leaves, would you try and get colours from West Ham? Sorry, I rate him highly. I don't know. I don't think so. Saudis will be pushing PR. They do love a good bit of PR. Jero Hinge Cape. Would it be better to sell Salah next year rather than letting him go for free the following? Salah has to be sold, whether we like it or not. Salah has to be sold. You can't let Salah go on a free. We've let too many top players go on a free. We've lost out on too much money. For a club who operates on a sell-to-buy model, on a sustainable model, you cannot keep losing your best assets for free. Kanate injured, massive in a highlight. It's Harvey Barnes this act. That's why I think Joe Gomez is better. Do you think today's result could dictate the rest of the window? Maybe if it's a really bad one. If we get like 3 or 4, you'll see a proper panic move from the Reds. If we lost 4-0, 4-1, 5-1, Czech Decore would be bought for 75 million the following days. Hijack West Ham could have steal for the right. I just prefer a left flush on the right. Liverpool can hit. Newcastle Nunes pace lethal getting through the centre. We need something similar to what happened with Coutinho. Keep on keeping on, Tom. I appreciate that red chili. I'll happily take 150 to sell, but the only problem is it's so late in the window. Anything we do buy is going to be double the price and a panic buy. That's why you go for Johan Bakayoko and just trust the youth, unfortunately. No matter the transfer fee, Salah aging, his performance is dropping off. The mere thought of a guy who brings guaranteed 35 GH season leaving terrifies the crap out of me. I agree. Is Kudus left-footed? I always thought Kudus was right-footed, you know. I thought Kudus was right-footed. He's left-footed. Uwe? Maybe then. Maybe. If we got 150 mil plus the 100 mil we still got, surely we can buy a defender right wing in the midfield with 250 mil plus the extra money we get from wage, but I'd rather him leave next season. Fair enough. Tom, I think Salah leaves. That's my gut feeling. Too much news, no smoke without fire. Plenty of attacking options without more midfield supply lines need bolstering. I hear that. A Liverpool win today, fingers crossed. Trying to stay awake, being up all night, read up for the box and all the UFC or something. Kudus is left-footed. I've seen that now. I've had wild takes today. Ben Doak is the perfect style replacement. That is crazy. Crazy. It's way too much pressure on a youngster. And when will the next FM episode be out? I think I'm in mid-November the save. I've got to do a live com for Everton in the Carabao Cup. And then I've got to sim through December. So I reckon I'll get all that done tomorrow. Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday is when you'll see the next episode, mate. But we've done 45 minutes. I'm going to do my predicted lineup. And then I'm going to call it there. Because I need to go eat. I need to go watch City. I need to go get ready. I need to go out. So, predicted lineup. Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robbo, Endo, Szoboszlai, Maka. What I would do is Salah, Gakpo, Nunes. What I think will happen is Salah, Gakpo, Diaz. That's what I think will happen. And like I said, I think it'll be 2-1. I think it'll be a really tight game. But I think if we can get an early goal, I think it sets us in good stead for the rest of the day. Imagine Salah leaves, FSG bring in £10 million unknown midfielder. I don't think they'd do that, but it's something you can't rule out, surely. I have a feeling Gakpo will play the 8th physicality. That Newcastle midfielder is massive. He's physical, yeah, but he's not a good midfielder. So I'd rather have a good midfielder than someone who can win a bit of a physical battle, if you get me. Big up yourself, Wilder. Both how's you, Tom? Still no signings window closing. Guess we finished this window. I don't think we finished, but I think it'll be a bit of a panic buy to end up. Nice one, Tom. Great stream, mate. Smash a like on your way out, please. Listen to Pan of Scouts before I go. Top guy. Big up to Cover. Tom showing up consistently. We love to see that. Is 4 out of 6. If you were there on the stream I done with Redmond, with Monts, with Hassam, and I made the bet I can do 6 streams in a week, we have done 4, not 6 streams, but 6 pieces of content. We're on 4 out of 6. You've had FM and you've had 3 streams. 2 more to go. Monday and Tuesday. It's brewing, people. It's brewing. Do I think Endo's good to start this type of game? I think he's better than what we've got. Tom Doe, I haven't heard that one in a while, but anyway, that's a classic, that one, the Bendo comparison. If we get another Arthur signing on deadline, that'll be fuming. And rightly so. Rightly so. When do you think Nunes will get the start? He should get it today, but he'll get it in the Europa League. But I'm going to call it there, people. I'm going to love yous. I'm going to leave yous. In a bit, everyone. In a bit. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out if you haven't already. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Hit that notification button if you haven't on the way out already. I will leave you all up the Reds. We're going to win at the St. James's Park.